Welcome to episode 98 of Instant Expertise Marketing. In case you have forgotten, we are still amidst this 8-part mini-series that we are determined to finish before the end of the year, focused on AI productivity for sales and marketing teams. We started this based on the feedback from our recent 3-day webinar that showed real examples of how sales and marketing teams can use AI to double productivity and get work done faster, easier, and often better. And I have to add to this that I think what we really learned in that webinar is how much we have already seen and understand, because many of these samples were very simple, but literally most of our audience was literally kind of blown away by what's possible. And this was like the simple stuff. So we're really trying to make a focus to get out there and show this more often so that you really understand what's possible. And in case you missed it, I'm Yvette Brown, co-founder of XPROMOS. I became an entrepreneur at 23 by starting a promotions agency with my then 29-year-old business partner, Sherry Nomadi. As you likely can expect, Sherry and I use AI every single day, and we're also on a mission to continue to urge knowledge workers everywhere to prioritize upskilling on AI like your job depends on it, because there's a very good chance that it does.
And I'm Sherry Nomadi. Yvette and I do approach business from different ends of the spectrum. Yet we always come to the same conclusions on how we help our clients succeed. As Yvette said, we are closing 2024 on a high note by sharing some real-life AI examples with you, specifically targeted to sales and marketing teams. This is part 6 of 8, and we are so very close to our 100th episode, which is cause for celebration.
Indeed. And to be honest, 100 episodes seems unreal. I will have to say, I looked back and it did take us about 6 years to get here, but here we are.
Well, we've certainly had some twists and turns, there's no doubt. So even though it has been slow going, I'm really excited that we've made it almost to 100. But let's not get too sentimental. We still have some AI training to share today, Yvette. So let's get right to it.
And for those of you following along, that is Sherry in a nutshell, right? So it's like, we'd love to take this moment to, celebrate, but honestly, let's get to work because you still have some deliverables to finish. So with that in mind, if you're watching,
how to do them better and faster.
That's right. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see these demos as we work through them on ChatGPT. If you're listening, we will do our best to try and be clear about what we're doing so you can follow along.
Sounds great. Let's go.
Let's get to it, right? Stop messing around. Okay. All right. I am going to share right now as soon as I find my share button. So what we're going to show you today, and if you've been listening, you may have seen this last time. This is an AI marketing agency GPT or AI tool that we created inside of our group, the AI Transformation Council. And what this does is it's a great example of the type of thing that you actually learn going through our training process. It's actually something you learn, I think it's maybe 4 hours in or so of like 8-9 hour training program. It's the green belt, and we show you how to do what it is you're already doing, the process that you are already going through on doing any task in your role. We show you how to build something so this part of it's done, and instead of starting from scratch every time, you kind of have this part done, you just input some information and it comes out with something that's very much closer to the final product you're looking for, sometimes exactly there, without a lot of muss and fuss on your side. So in this case, it is an outbound sequence creator, but we found that it can do some pretty cool things that we're going to show you. And that's because it goes through the process of which an agency goes through. A good agency should be going through behind the scenes. And in that case, it is going to start by asking a little bit about what your value proposition is, right? Tell us what product you're selling, who you're targeting, and what result you're looking for. So we did something that was B2B related for our sales folks yesterday last time on a nurture stream. This time we're going to focus on being an organic potato chip manufacturer. So we're going to say, I sell organic potato chips that help, let's focus on the millennials this time. Millennial women stay healthy, right? Because nothing says health like potato chips.
Well, they're organic.
Well, there you go, right? So we're going to go ahead and say, let's get started. It's deciding it's going to do one of those tests for me right now. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to say yes. Sometimes, again, AI is going to say, hey, do you prefer this one or this one, like when it goes through. So the first thing it's going to do, which any of us should do, if you're worth your salt, is it's going to start by creating a profile of your perfect customer. And the way it's doing this on this side is it's going to do the little thing where it's going to look at dreams, past failures, fears, suspicions, and what's the other one? It's going to come up with this in a second. It's your suspicions and your enemies, right? If you're familiar with this framework, this is a pretty good way to look at it. And what it does is, for your marketing folks, as you know, it gives you a framework to work from, right? Like, whether clients see it or not, we're always thinking in our heads and really trying to understand, walk in the shoes of your perfect customers so that we can best use our secret, tactics and frameworks to speak to them in a way that's meaningful. So, but AI is doing it kind of as we speak, which is why it's so amazing. So this is going to start out with the dreams, right? Like, what kind of dreams are our organic chip buying millennial women looking at? And the first thing is they want to have guilt-free snacking. Okay, so anybody who has ever bought a healthy snack knows that, yeah, this is it. They want a balanced lifestyle, natural ingredients, makes them feel good. They want something trendy and Instagram worthy. I love this because, we know that's true for a lot of our...
accurate.
It's so big, especially for our millennial audience. And they want to support sustainability. Now, past failures is healthy snacks taste bad sometimes, right? That makes sense. We've all been there. They're overly processed, right? Sometimes, when you say it's natural, it's really not. You might feel deprived when you have these snacks, which leads to frustration or binge eating, or both, as the case may be. The labeling could be confusing. There might not be a lot of good options. What they're afraid of is that there's hidden ingredients. You might be wasting money. You might still be compromising your health. Might not be trendy, right? You might be missing out on healthy snacks that fit your lifestyle or peer group. And you might be feeling like there's a lack of authenticity. Suspicions are, people are suspicious for sure. It's like, is it too good to be true? Is it really organic, tasty, and healthy? What's the catch, right? That's something you have to overcome. Is this hype versus reality? Is it overpriced for buzzwords, kind of like our organic bananas, where we know that, the spray is only on the outside, so it's really not a big difference to the inside? Is there a lack of transparency? What do they really mean by natural or healthy? And does it really taste good? And then, our enemies, and these are the things that might prevent them from moving forward with you, is unhealthy alternatives, right? Because we all know that traditional potato chips are for those of you who prefer those kind of snacks, are like pretty unbeatable. There's the pressure of time. Like I don't have the time to figure out to research these to see if they're healthy or not. I might be concerned about the budget. Maybe they're too expensive. I don't necessarily trust all brands, that maybe they're over promising and under delivering, as we've all seen. And then there's just old habits. This is the brand I've always bought. I'm going to stick with it. So we kind of have this framework, right? Thanks to our psychological experts. So now we're passing it off to the brand story experts. And if you're familiar with this is basically the brand story approach, where you have, it's based on pretty much every story, most every story in Hollywood and books and whatnot ever written, going back to Homer's The Odyssey. And it's basically the idea of a character, the hero of the story, has a problem. They meet a guide who gives them a plan that calls them to action, that helps them avoid failure and ends in success. In our case, the hero is our millennial women, right? Your customer is always the hero, who want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. They have a problem, which is, and these are usually internal and external. The external problem is they crave convenient, tasty snacks, but they're frustrated with what's actually out there. But internally, right? Because there's always something going on the inside. They're torn between their healthy goals and indulging in the snacks they love, right? Because this is how you end up feeling guilty or not satisfied with that binge snack or whatever. And there's also a philosophical problem, right? Eating well shouldn't feel like a compromise, right? So is very millennial. And then they meet a guide, right? And that's you, right? That's your brand, right? We understand how frustrating it is to find snacks that are truly healthy, made with natural ingredients and still taste delicious, but also somebody that has authority. Our organic potato chips are crafted from clean, quality ingredients. There's no artificial additives, no guilt, et cetera, et cetera. And then you give them a plan, right? Choose the snack, enjoy it, feel great about it. That calls them to action, like, order now, shop now, whatever that may be. You could also have a call to action if this is a nurture campaign that says, download our healthy snack or our healthy guide, or sign up for a free trial, or kind of whatever your action you're looking for at this stage in their customer journey. But the point is, you want to help them avoid failure, which is falling back on unhealthy snacks, wasting money on flavorless, bad, snacking products, and avoid feeling guilty if you're choosing convenience over health. And then ends in success. Then we want them to enjoy their snack. You want them to find something that's delicious and guilt-free. You want them to feel confident that they're fueling their body with clean, natural, sustainable ingredients, and that they've aligned with their own values, like healthy taste and sustainability. So again, this is all the work that's really done. It takes a lot of time on the side of the agency to put this stuff together, right? Mm-hmm. And only then should you really be sending it over to the copywriters to create something. And much as the same way with AI. Where we see a lot of folks not getting great results is they just kind of say, make me an email, make me a post, without giving context. And context is so critical. One of the things that, if you don't know, I also spend time as a prompt engineer for working on one of the world's largest LLMs, and I'm working on new projects all the time, and it's always about finding that the model is testing the model to see, how good of a response it can give you. And I've learned from experience that the more context you give it, the better. And anytime that you are unclear or vague about your question, it's going to likely be reflected in the response you get. So oftentimes when folks say, oh, I didn't get a very good fill in the blank response from AI, chances are they didn't ask a very good question, or they didn't give enough context to really tap into the AI's knowledge, because all the knowledge is there. It's like going to the library and saying, oh, I couldn't find anything on gardening. You know what? You probably didn't look in the right department, right? And it's very much the same way. So for our copywriter here, now this demo has basically been set up to write emails over a period of time. But the reality is we're still tapped into AI. We just gave it a bunch of information and we can pretty much ask it anything. And this is something pretty exciting with this little GPT. So we're going to say, instead of emails, can you make me 7 social posts for, I don't know, what platform do we want to choose? I'm going to say Instagram since we're talking about millennials here.
Their favorite one.
That's right. Can you make 7 social posts for Instagram that are, I think that's all really I need to say. I don't think I need to give them anything more, and we'll see what happens. So right now, it's going to suggest out of the gate a mix of content types: educational, inspirational, promotional, and entertaining, right? Again, that's tapping into the experts that we know that that's a good mix on your social content. So our first one says the guilt-free snack highlight. And for those of you who are listening, just to share, it's very Instagrammy. There's a lot of emojis along the way, right? So there's a caption that says, craving chips without the guilt, blah, blah, blah. Snacking should be delicious and align with your healthy lifestyle with, of course, the muscle thing and that kind of stuff. And then it also is suggesting a visual, in this case, a bright aesthetic shot of chips in a bowl with natural lighting and a clean background, which, by the way, I could go ahead and take that information and I could drop it back into chat to have it create an image for me to go with this as well. So this is kind of like one of the many ways it can do. And it has a call to action here: tag your snack buddy and let them know it's snack time. Our second one is a carousel of 5 reasons why. This is our educational one. And it says, wondering why our chips are your new favorite snack? Swipe to see 5 reasons why. And it has a slide that says, 100% organic, no artificial junk or additives, guilt-free indulgence, crispy, crunchy, and delicious, sustainable snacking you can feel good about, right? We also have a relatable one for post 3, a lifestyle photo of a woman working on her laptop or lounging on a couch with a bag of chips saying snack time simplified, right? Number 4 is snacking without sacrifice. This is a short video here. Snack without the sacrifice. Healthy doesn't mean boring. Our organic chips taste amazing, have simple, clean ingredients, fit your lifestyle, have some ideas for the visuals, and the call to action is like this reel if you're done settling for boring snacks. These are pretty good, huh, Sherry?
Absolutely.
So then we have post 5 is a behind the scenes, which is strategically shows brand transparency. Have you ever wondered what makes our chips so good? It's simple: 100% organic potatoes, minimal clean ingredients, sustainable practices from farm to bag. We're all about transparency because you deserve to know what you're eating, right? 6 is healthy eating myth busters. This is back to educational. The myth is healthy snacks don't taste good. The truth is our organic potato chips are crunchy, delicious, and guilt-free. We believe eating healthy shouldn't feel like a sacrifice. Say goodbye to bland snacks and say hello to flavored chips made just for you. And then number 7 is a user-generated content or testimonial. This is obviously social proof with a caption, that says, I finally found a snack I can feel good about, et cetera, et cetera. So this is, I would say, like a really good thing, but as if you've been on the agency side of this, generally, or even on the brand side, things are rarely approved first time through. So in our little bot here, we're actually going to go ahead and send it to our creative director, who's going to take a look and see how to make it better. This is another hot tip that Sherry and I have for you, is the idea that you never have to really accept the first output that you get from AI, or really from anybody, but in particular with AI, you can ask for it to take a look and see how it can make it better. And chances are it will make it better the second time around. What we're seeing on the new reasoning models is that oftentimes, if you look at when it's on its thinking mode, it's actually looking to see how it can make it better before it delivers to you. But nevertheless, a really good practice is to ask for an output and then say, hey, can you make this more, whatever it is, more authentic? You want it more time sensitive? You want it more aspirational, inspirational, whatever the word is. And this is where it really helps to get your vocabulary sharpened up on words that reflect what you're trying to say and what you mean, because we're all becoming more like editors than we are writers, if you will, right? We're really here to use our knowledge, improve and give direction, and then improve the output. So in this case, our creative director has come back and said, hey, I would make this first text overlay a little more specific. On the carousel, I would add a shop now graphic to the last part of it. On lifestyle, it said make the caption more conversational. Snacking without sacrifice, it said add a hook in the first 3 seconds, such as tired of choosing between healthy and tasty. These are all really great suggestions on making that pretty good first round